Welcome to News Video Clip. The Iran war continues to be a massive disaster for President Trump. He pumps billions and billions into this failed war. And what do we have to show for it? High gas prices, high grocery prices, Iran bombing U.S. bases, Iran bombing ships that are trying to get through the Strait of Hormuz. It's been a total disaster. And one of the reasons for that disaster is U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. The New York Times reports today that Hegseth's top advisor is his wife, Jennifer Hegseth. She has access to war plans and U.S. intelligence, according to the New York Times. And here are the gals over at I've Had It, and they've got more on this story. Let's watch.
Let's move along to Pete Hegseth. His closest advisor is his wife, Jennifer, who homeschools their kids with a classical Christian fundamentalist education. Pop this up. After an 18-year career at Fox News, Jennifer Hegseth is now her husband's most influential advisor and de facto producer, shaping the job like no Pentagon spouse before. It's bonkers, says an ex-Pentagon spokesperson under Hegseth, and it gets worse. Pop this up. One person familiar with Mr. Hegseth's thinking said that the defense secretary likes his wife to travel with him to keep him out of trouble. Mr. Hegseth, who has a history of heavy drinking, has himself made clear he needs his wife at his side. He often credits his two J's, get ready for it, Jennifer and Jesus, with transforming his life. And I just want to remind everybody, Jennifer and Pete were banging while Pete was still married. So all of this sanctimonious bullshit, yes, all of this sanctimonious bullshit, the reason they have to monitor each other all the time is because these are people that have no impulse control, none. And he's an untreated alcoholic. And he's committing war crimes, in my opinion, as the Secretary of Defense, who also has enacted a policy of gender-affirming care for low-T military people, which I think one of those is probably him.
So there you go. Pete Hegseth, who loves to tough talk. He's this big, tough guy. He has such poor impulse control. He's got to have his wife there to control him, to make sure he doesn't go out and get drunk. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. No wonder the Iran war is such a disaster. Now, J.D. Vance, our vice president, he was on Newsmax trying to convince Americans that the Iran war was actually going well. Let's watch this clip.
But again, if you look at just where this is today versus a few months ago, oil has come down substantially. Gas prices are down about 50 cents from their peak. We have shown an ability to do something amazing for our national security while also doing something that protects the economic interests of the American people.
Okay. He's absolutely lying. Gas prices have not gone down. Oil prices have not gone down, and grocery prices are still sky high. So he's absolutely lying. And Iran still has control of the Strait of Hormuz. They're able to bomb ships in the Strait of Hormuz. They're able to launch attacks on U.S. bases with drones. So J.D. Vance, who's changed his name 3 times, changed his religion 3 times, is clearly lying. And fewer Republicans are buying the Trump lie. NBC News interviewed one of these Republicans in Ohio. So let's watch this clip of a Republican in Ohio who wants Trump to resign.
Yeah, this was fascinating, Ryan. We talked to Rich Beebe in Strongsville, Ohio, and just take a listen to what he had to say. You're still a registered Republican?
I am.
Do you vote in Republican primaries?
I do.
So you're just not happy with the way the
I'm not happy with, well, the party that I know doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Hopefully it finds its way.
If you could say something to President Trump right now, what would you say?
Resign. You're destroying the country.
Wow. So this guy is saying it straight up. This is a Republican in Ohio telling Trump to resign because he's destroying the country, which is absolutely true. The guy is right on. All right, now we're going to go down to Texas, where the lieutenant governor, a guy named Dan Patrick, is trying to censor school libraries. And this is what fascists do. They want to censor what students can read. Even though Republicans claim to be the party of small government, they love to inject big government in everything, including what students read. Here's KHOU with the story.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is threatening new penalties for school districts that keep what he calls explicit books on library shelves. The warning comes as Lubbock ISD faces challenges to about 150 titles. District leaders have removed 10 so far. Patrick says he'll push next session to drop a district's state accountability grade by one whole letter, even if just one book violates the state's school library standards.
If these books are not off the shelf, we will pass a law that will knock your grade letter down one. So if you're an A school, you'll be a B. If you're a B, you'll be a C. If you're a C, you'll be a D. And an F, you can't go much lower than that to begin with. Maybe that's why you have an F school, if this is what's in your library.
Okay, take a good look at this guy because he is a complete fascist who wants to censor free thought, who wants to censor what students can read. And this is what fascists do. Russia, China, Iran, they all follow the same playbook. Censor what people can read. They're book burners, they're book banners, and Dan Patrick is nothing less than a fascist. And when he talks about giving a school, rating it an A, B, C, D, E, or F, what he's referring to is under Texas law, if a school gets a low enough grade, that means the Texas government, Dan Patrick and Governor Greg Abbott, can take over that school. So there we go again, big government takeover because these fascists want to control students' thoughts. There you go. Alrighty, we have links to all of our stories right below this video. Unlike the right-wing podcasters, the paid influencers, the paid liars, Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, Riley Gaines, Kristen Hawkins, Jimmy Dore, they're literally all paid to lie. They make six figures or more just to lie. It's unbelievable. We back up every story on every single podcast. And I want to thank everybody who subscribed to this podcast. If this is your first time, please like and subscribe, or you can hate and subscribe, or you can hate me and subscribe. All right, we'll be back later with more stories.